get underway, we're going to take a look at the agenda. So we will be covering most of the highlights for our International Business and Leadership Conference, which I believe most of you on the call are registered, and if not, hopefully this will convince you to register, but we will be going through boot camp, industry clusters, walk and talks, breakout sessions. We'll highlight some of our keynote speakers and what to expect at the evening networking receptions. We'll also highlight our expo and talk about some general suggestions and best practices. And then Dave will give us his perspective as well. So with that said.
Also, just to remind you, there at the end, you can see Santana's email. If you have any questions throughout this, please just email them over to him since the large participant number on the call. It'll be difficult to open it up to everyone asking questions, so if you send it to him, it'll field through the team.
All right. So the first thing that we'll be covering, and actually the first thing that you will be experiencing at our conference, is our B2B boot camp. So it is on the first day of the conference, technically a pre-conference day, August 11th, so Tuesday, and it is from 12:30 to 4:15. The B2B boot camp is a great way to introduce yourself to other colleagues that are attending the conference. It also helps you develop a game plan. So it is presented by Neil Sorbonne and Associates. They're a seasoned LGBTBE. Neil and his team have been doing this for a number of years now, and our suppliers find it really helpful, especially as a nice introduction if you've never been to our conference before or if you're looking for refreshers. And it generally gives you a game plan of what to expect. So Neil will highlight all of the things that will be going on during the conference and how you can best approach those. So he'll cover topics like how to interact with supplier diversity professionals. He will share some stories and some experiences he's had of things that have worked in the past and some things that you will probably want to avoid. He'll also help you work on your elevator pitch. We'll talk about the walk and talks here in a little bit, but our conference is a great place for you to use your elevator pitch. So sometimes you may be only interacting with a corporate partner for a brief period of time. You want to maximize that time. So Neil will work with you to really refine your elevator pitch so that you can captivate your audience. We have a plethora of breakout sessions all throughout the conference, and the boot camp will help you decide which breakout sessions might make most sense for you and what to expect. And Neil will also go over how to follow up and maximize newly formed relationships, whether they're relationships that you have just initiated or whether they're ongoing continuous relationships. Neil will share some best practices of what has worked for him and what he has found has worked for suppliers over the years. So that's the boot camp. And then we have our industry cluster meeting series following the boot camp. So essentially, we group LGBTBEs into, there are 7 different industries, 6 of which are meeting at conference, but it is a great way for you to interact with colleagues and talk about best practices within your industry. So you can discuss maybe there's a particular challenge that you find within your industry. You can speak with colleagues about how they've been able to overcome that. You can also talk about some upcoming opportunities. If there are any opportunities where you're looking to, maybe you're not quite large enough to bid on a particular contract, but you're looking for perhaps another LGBTBE that will still meet that diversity requirement. It's a great way to talk about those types of opportunities, as well as strategic partnerships. You know, we've had quite a few of our certified businesses go into joint ventures and partner with each other for various opportunities. So you can discuss within your particular industry what has worked well whenever you're approaching those types of opportunities. So the industry clusters follow the boot camp. There's usually about a 15-minute break or so in between those. And again, that's on Tuesday, the very first day.
I'm going to discuss a little bit about our walk and talks. This is something that you probably heard us talk about. And these are early morning, predetermined walking paths for you to have a more informal meeting with our buyers. These are really exciting opportunities for you as a business owner to have just a casual conversation with participating buyers. And so I kind of wanted to highlight the sign-up agenda for these walk and talks and how to participate in them. So our walk and talks happen before our open plenaries in the morning from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., so bright and early. And this year, because we have an amazing property on the beach, we'll be doing these walk and talks on the beach. So you're probably asking yourself, what are walk and talks? So walk and talks are a really great day to start to have a healthy start and walk around on the beach with a supplier diversity representative. For signing up, this is a more informal meeting, very unlike the matchmakers, which you all are probably signing up for. When you arrive to your walk and talk, there'll be a registration table, and you'll sign in with an NGLCC representative by handing in one of your business cards. Your business cards will then be affixed with a sticker and returned to you, and this will be your kind of placeholder in line using your business card. So we'll have a table with participating buyers each morning, and you can place your business card in each card holder and get into kind of a queue for the corporation that you want to walk with. And these walks are matched up according to who puts in their business card first. And so when it is your time to walk with the participating buyer, we'll call your name, we'll hand you back your business card, and then we'll introduce you to the person that you're walking with. And then you can go along the course and walk with them and just kind of informally talk about your business, ask questions about that corporation, and see where that conversation goes. Everyone walks at their own pace, but this course is designed to last approximately 7 to 10 minutes. If you don't have time to finish the conversation, don't worry. Exchange business cards to ensure that the conversation can continue after the conference. A lot of our LGBTBEs ask if it's possible to, walk and chat with other LGBTBEs, and that's, of course, very much encouraged. While you're waiting for the buyer that you signed up with, feel free to meet and mingle with the other participating LGBTBEs and walk along the course. Hopefully we'll have beautiful weather out in sunny Florida. If you didn't get a chance to walk with everyone you wanted to, don't worry. There'll be sign-up sheets along with the card holders where you can sign up with your business name, and email address, and we'll be sending that to each buyer that participates for future follow-up post-conference. So these are our walk and talks. I think that they're a great opportunity, and everyone who participates really enjoys the event. So now I want to highlight a little bit about the breakout sessions. We have a lot of competing breakout sessions this year as we grow in programming for our suppliers and corporate partners and other small businesses and affiliate relation chambers. So I want to help you kind of look at the agenda, see what panels you want to participate, and kind of get a game view. So we have tracked panels for the conference, and they're tracked by color on the agenda. And the purple is really panels that are formatted for you as a certified LGBTBE, and they're called Certify Your Success. Green tracked panels are for corporate partners. That should be gray, although it looks black on there, and that's really for our local NGLCC affiliate chambers. I know a lot of you have hats in both arenas, so you can build your agenda according to what panels you want to participate in. And then finally, we have our blue track, which is for any business development minded person, and that's our strategic growth and development for entrepreneurs. So something new this year to our conference, which we're really excited about, is our new conference app. And so I highly suggest you download it now. Those are kind of instructions down there, and I believe that those are hyperlinked if you want to click on it now to get to that information. But in our conference app, we have our full agenda, as well as each of them tracked with more information on the speaker and the topic and description of that panel, as well as any PDFs that may go along with that breakout session. So we're really excited about this app. We hope that it'll better connect you with the speakers and the topics in our breakout sessions and our keynote speakers, and we're really excited to see how it helps you also follow up with any relationships that you build at conference. One of them I want to highlight is our morning plenary keynote, Sally Hogshead. We're really excited to have her here. She's a New York Times bestseller of How the World Sees You, and this is a developer of the first science-based personal brand test. So we all encourage you to go in and take this test first, because what she's going to do is tailor her presentation based on our constituents and how we test as a group. This is really exciting, and we're excited to do this, but we need everyone to participate and take the test. So you can click on that. That's the website. Our assessment code is NGLCC 15, and you can see your advantage test. Oh, I'm hearing that it's not clickable, but it's sent out in some communication, and I know that we have a conference email coming out soon, but it's howtofascinate.com/U, and the assessment code is NGLCC 15, and this information will be made available later so that you can go back to it. But please go in and take the test, and we're excited to see how we test according to the rest of the nation.
All right. So on to our evening networking reception. So after you've been working hard all day, you've been developing your, you've been working on your business and developing those relationships, so a great way to sort of debrief and unwind at the end of the day, though still working, is through our evening networking receptions. So we do have them every evening except Friday evening, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But it's a nice way to have a discussion with a corporate partner or another certified LGBTBE or somebody who's vested in the community over a glass of wine or a cocktail. It's in a very informal setting. It's a great way to either maybe start a conversation, continue a conversation, and really engage our constituents. Our corporate partners are there. They want to meet with you. So the evening receptions is a great forum for that. And you can make very strategic connections there. So again, we have them Tuesday evening, Wednesday evening, and Thursday evening as well. Although it looks like it's not on there, but it is Thursday as well. And then probably everybody's familiar with Matchmakers, but concurrently with Matchmakers is our Marketplace Expo. So it's going on at the same time, and when you're not busy with your Matchmaker meetings, you can go down to the Marketplace Expo, and it's designed that way so that not everybody is there at once, and our corporate partners, all of our corporate partners are invited to have booths there. Most of them do, and since not everyone is down there at once, our corporate partners are very approachable, and it's very easy for you to go up and have a 10-minute one-on-one conversation with a procurement officer or supplier diversity professional, a great way to get some visibility. As I mentioned, almost all of our corporate partners will be there. You can build new relationships or continue building those that you've already developed.
Yeah, and so I just also want to stress that I know Matchmakers, you're only going to get, a few, and we really tailor Matchmakers to be commodity-based, which is why you're only matched with a few corporations, and it's usually based on real-time opportunities that they're looking for. And so if you know of that corporate partner that you think you're a great fit for and really want to have that conversation, the Expo is the perfect place to do that, and it runs all day. We have about 80 corporate partners represented in those 90 major companies that will be at our Expo, and they're going to be there all day and wanting to talk just for you, to have those conversations. So just to ease everyone's mind, we are finalizing Matchmaker schedules now. This is the last day for buyers to go in and finalize their schedule. Most buyers do it last minute. It's just always been the case, and we're constantly, connecting with them and trying to get them to go in there and do that. At the end of the day, we will also be making those matches tomorrow with final schedules available to you by the end of the day on Friday, just so that everyone kind of level sets on knowing when you can get your schedule and know who you're matched with. But in the conference app, when you download it and you look at the Marketplace Expo, it's going to also let you know everyone who's expoing there in that booth and where they are in that hall, and it's a great way to connect with them and have the same conversations that you can have with them at Matchmakers. So some of our team's, general suggestions and best practices, and, we can further this conversation. Dave can give you his insider perspective as being a certified LGBTBE at conference, and we can, go deep dive in questions that you may have for us. But just so everyone knows, dress code is business casual. For our walk and talk, since it's on the beach, it's going to be a little more casual if you want to, come down in board shorts and a shirt to do your walk on the beach. It's highly encouraged because you don't want to be in a suit on the beach, but it is up to you. I still haven't decided what I will be wearing on the beach. Matchmakers is business professional typically, And the evening networking receptions tend to be more on the casual side, so business casual and casual. We will be having one on the beach, weather permitting. Well, it's on a balcony overlooking the beach. But because we are at this resort and because it is so outdoor friendly, we will, encourage you to be comfortable in whatever setting that is. Also, we highly encourage you to have a capability statement and business cards ready at any time just to help solidify that relationship and make sure that you can follow up on any conversation that you may have post-conference. Okay, Dave, so I'm gonna give it up to you. Just let me know when you want me to turn the slide.
Thanks, Natalie. Just one second on our company. We're proud to be NGLCC certified since 2013. We're an integrated marketing firm. But most important, I want to talk about the NGLCC conference that's coming up in Fort Lauderdale. So if you could turn the slide, please. This is our third time we've come, so we've really refined our approach since the first year. The first year, quite frankly, I was like a kid in a candy store. There's Citibank, and over there's Prudential, and there's Kellogg's and Procter & Gamble. Let's get all their business cards. Let's shake all their hands. That's not the right approach. We've refined it since that time, last year, in our second year, and this year as well, to a much more targeted approach. We're going to be laser focused on a very few companies who we think we're the perfect match for and trying to meet those companies. Natalie, you all talked about the boot camp. What I'm going to try to do in the next 5 minutes is give you a mini boot camp, what to expect. This first slide, the first thing is there's a lot of work, but there's a huge upside. These are the kinds of companies that ordinarily have very closed ecosystems. Apple Computer, for example. There's no way our company could interact or get on the campus of Apple Computer, but for the first time, and congrats to the NGLCC, they've got a relationship, and hopefully there'll be somebody present from Apple, but I know there will be from many other companies as well. So there's a huge upside. The second thing I would say is, and you heard it a moment ago in terms of the address, this is business first and fun second. It starts with 7 a.m. walks, and that's awfully early, folks, but it's where you can buttonhole people and you can get introductions. The third thing is, unfortunately, it's likely that there's not an immediate payoff. This is a long-term relationship builder where you can begin, under point 4 here, you can begin long-term relationships, and that's where you're going to see the payoff, but not likely immediately. The fifth thing I'd like to say about Fort Lauderdale is use this to stretch yourself, to become a selling and telling machine for your company. You need to do that 24/7. You need to do it with energy, with a smile. The next slide, I boiled it, what's important down to 6 different things, and this is how we have approached it. First, make sure you're making the most of your time. Have a game plan. From morning, knowing that I'm going to get up at 6 o'clock, I'm going to look fresh, even in my board shorts, out at the walk along. Use NGLCC's databases. Pre-book the appointments if you can using Matchmaker. But if there's somebody else who looks interesting, use the database that NGLCC has to try to connect with someone that you perhaps haven't been able to connect with at Matchmakers and make an appointment. Second, you're all going to have to become storytellers. A few moments ago, somebody talked about making sure you have an elevator pitch down. That's about 20 seconds worth of, this is who we are, and this is the value proposition we can bring to the table for you, XYZ company. Here's our value prop, and here's what we can do for you. You probably need more than just a 20-second elevator pitch, though, and that is, I think in the boot camp, he calls it a one-pager on yourself. That is something that's perhaps colorful, but most importantly, using bullet points, describes what your company does, and perhaps some other companies that you do it for, some customers. Just in one-pager, you can hand it to someone at a Matchmaker. You can hand it to someone if they're asking for more information. The fourth point here is relationships. And, it's a 24/7 business while you're at the conference, whether you're in matchmakers or in the hallway. Always be putting your hand out to meet people. I can remember from my first conference, I met someone from Toyota Financial in the hallway, not at Matchmaker, not in the trade show booth, and actually they are our first customer from NGLCC out on the West Coast. And that came because I just put my hand out in the hallway and I met somebody and we had a conversation. Fifth, make sure you're listening. As much as you're talking, do some listening as well. Listen for cues. If they're looking for this kind of firm, or they already have someone in your space, well, is there somebody that you could partner with in that space as a tier 2 perhaps? Listen for those cues. And lastly, in terms of what's important, it's really all in the follow-up. A thank you note perhaps a week after, not the day after, because people don't go right back to their desk. Let their inbox clear out when they get back the following week. Send them that one pager that you handed them, because there's no confidence that they have it or took it back to their desk. Make it easy on them, and maybe start an Excel spreadsheet for yourself. The 5 companies that you met that you really want to do business with, and plot some kind of a strategy. Finally, as Natalie said on the last page, you're going to get an opportunity, hopefully, to meet some folks in Matchmaker. And these tips could be for whether you're meeting somebody in the hallway, but they're especially tailored for Matchmaker sessions. First, get there on time. There's only 15 minutes allotted. You need to be there on time. In order to be memorable, which I've got down there as number 6, but, and I'm skipping around a little bit. In terms of the situation, it's loud in the room. Your audience is a little bit tired. So in order to be memorable, but also just to be a kind person, I brought water. I brought either a selection of water or Gatorade to the 2 people that I had matchmakers with last year. Also brought an energy bar because I figured this afternoon they might be down on energy. It made me memorable, but it was also a kind thing to do. Number 2, you've got 15 minutes. It's quick. So I would divide those 15 minutes into 5-5-5. 5 minutes to get to know them as a person. And you're asking them to do business with your company, but you're also asking them personally to do business with you personally. So get to know them. The second 5 minutes, present to them. And I'll get into that in one moment. And the next 5 minutes, don't leave without asking, what else could I get you? Is there somebody else at your company that I could talk to? Spend 5 minutes on next steps. Number 3, research. If you know who you're going to meet in matchmakers, or if you see that someone else is going to be there, perhaps that you could meet with in the trade show area, look them up on LinkedIn. I made a little notebook out of it. I had my LinkedIn sheets for each one of the people I was meeting, so I could even a photograph of them so I'd know what they looked like. I knew what school they went to, so we could have a real conversation. Number 4, we talked about a one-pager. Maybe you can have an iPad presentation, remembering that it's only going to be 2 or 3 or 4 slides at the most, because you're going to have to get it through quickly. You only have 5 minutes if you use the 5-5-5 rule. Practicing in advance, crucial. If you've only got 5 minutes to present, know what you're going to say. Have it down. Number 6, again, be memorable, relevant, and connect. Remembering that people do business with people they want to work with. Number 7, leave time to discuss next steps, those final 5 minutes, and be specific. Who else can I connect to? Give me a name. Give me an email. Ask for specifics. And lastly, wait a week before you follow up, but make sure that includes a thank you note, a one-pager. You're in it for the long game, and keep connections with these people. Anyway, Natalie, those are the 3 slides and the suggestions that I have around Fort Lauderdale.
That was amazing, Dave. Thank you so much for giving that insider perspective. I know we all appreciate it. Someone asked if there's only 5 minutes between matchmakers, is that enough time? It is. We have a bell. We end promptly at the end of your match. I ring it and usually telling people in the microphone to get up and switch to your next match. It's up to you to have your schedule on hand. Be ready to get to that table right when your 15 minutes starts and have those conversations.
Somebody asked, can you please say what the app is titled for search purposes? Actually, NGLCC currently only has one app, so if you have an iPhone, for example, and you go to the App Store, you go to Marketplace, if you have an Android, and you just type in NGLCC, it will show up because there's only one NGLCC app. So that should be pretty easy to find. And we also have a matchmaker question.
Okay. So are corporate partners able to request meetings if you have 3 matches already? Yes, corporate partners have ultimate admin say over matches. So if you are at your limit and a corporate partner goes in and requests to force that match, we do accept those matches. Okay, so I think that's all. Are there any other final questions regarding conference? I'm glad you all were able to use this chat feature. Seems helpful.
And also, don't think that this is the only opportunity to ask questions. If something else comes up, we're more than happy to help. Email Natalie, Santana, myself, Michael, anyone here at the NGLCC will be happy to help you, and we'll be happy to answer your questions. Or if we can't answer them, we'll find somebody who can.
All right. Thank you all.
All right. See everyone very soon.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.